Hi, I am Madam Eileen. Today we're going to learn something about our brushes. Our brushes, your long, thin brushes. This is a size number 6, Lil Cornell. You can paint more than one color on a round brush. It's a little trickier, but it creates the fantastic effect of multicolored teardrops, or you can put the teardrops together and make a flower. So let's travel down to our workstation and you'll see. We're going to go down. We're going to go around. Close your eyes if you get dizzy. All right. Now, we're going to first, my child's having lunch. Where did I put, oh, my water bottle. Okay, spray bottle. Take your spray bottle. I wet my paint. Now we're going to load up a lot of white paint on this brush. So you're going to go back and forth. The more paint you can get on this, the better, because we're going to do a lot of painting. I'm going to go back and forth until I'm pretty confident that the entire brush is filled up with paint all the way up to the metal end. I'm pushing down on a sharp edge of paint and pulling and twisting to get paint all up in those bristles. Now we're doing a double dip. It's always best to start with a light color first. You can start with a dark, but I prefer white. Once you're pretty confident that that brush is full of white paint, you want to take some of the paint off the very tip because we're going to dip into a dark color next. The darker the better because your dark color is going to mix with the white. So you're going to take a wet wipe or a paper towel and you're going to drag the tip of the brush that's going to pick up the dark color on. This will allow you to pick up more dark color. Then sometimes you pick up too much white and it fades. A few sprays of water onto a dark color. I like to use this dark indigo blue. And I put my point on and I circle my point. I flex it around, or you can drag it on a different part. And you can see the white is going to already start blending into the paint. So if you want dark lines again, you're going to have to wipe that off. But it creates two colors on the tip of your brush. Now we go to our surface. Let's get down a little closer. We're going to do a reverse teardrop. We're going to start at the point, pull it out, and lay our brush down. Pull it out, lay it down. And when you go around in a circle like this, you start creating petals for a flower. Does that remind you of a cosmos? You can let that dry and do another round of dots in the center. I'm going to go here to the side. I'm going to go out and pull in. Do a regular teardrop. And what you end up with is a two-toned flower. Because the tip is blue, the blue is going to pull into the design. But if you do your reverse teardrop, go out and lay it down, just lay the brush down and flatten. You really don't do a lot of dragging. You could drag, but that creates a flower. I can go back in with a different color and fill in the center, or I could do a fall of flower petals. Just lay it down. This is where double dipping can really come in handy for making a beautiful design. I could also make double petals. I can lay it down, touch the same point and lay it down again, so I make a heart. There's a flower called a bachelor button that has this shape petal. And you can rotate your brush so when you go down, you're going down on a part that hasn't used up that white paint yet. But you can see I'm running out of paint. In order to refreshen the white paint on this, I'm going to have to wash the entire brush. If you don't have a dipping cup, I'm going to raise it up higher now. If you don't have a cup of water that you're working with, you can take a paper towel or a baby wipe or face cleaning rag, and you can wipe the bristles of your brush off in it. Spray your water on your brush and wipe. Double dip is not good for festivals unless you can put the flower down in just one thing, because you don't want to reuse and redip this in your paint after touching someone's skin. But if you're not worried about germ transfer, this is a fast way to clean up your brush. And we reload. If your white is still very wet, we'll pick up some more white. In this case, let's try picking up some red. If I try regular red, it's going to end up pink, no matter what I do. That's why I say it's good to always next dip it in a dark color. We're going to dip this now. Oh, we loaded it with white. Wipe some of that paint off on the tip. Sometimes you wipe too much off and you end up with too much of a dark center color. I'm going to do a dark red. This is Mehron Red, and Mehron Red is actually a very, very dark red. It's the darkest red I've been able to find. There were some other brands that had a darker red, but it went out of business and I can't find it anymore. So I'm picking up just that flash of red. You could make hearts with this technique. So now I have red. I'm going to come over here, get closer to my board. And point, pull it out, lay it down. This makes very fast, fun flowers. Do a flower, do a tiny flower, 5 petals or 6. Most flowers have more than 4 petals, so you want to start at 5 and go up from there. I could also do reverse teardrops. I can do drag and drop. Drag and drop. Double dipped paints make for very fun reverse teardrops. Another good reason to learn those reverse teardrops. And then I'm going to reload one more time. I'm going to change colors. So I'm going to just pull as much red off of the tip as possible with a rag or a dry tissue. I'm going to pull and twist, load up some more white. Now this one is favorite for teenagers. We're going to do black. Now when you do white, double dipped with the black, you get gray. So we're going to get black and shades of gray. So I've sprayed my black paint. I'm going to take the tip and gently pull that tip across the surface of the black. So I just get black on the tip. This is one where I do push my tip into the paint and I use a circular motion. Now that I have that double dipped, we're going to do a flower. Heavy pressure will make fat petals. Light pressure will make a thin petal. You could also teardrop, pull and drop, reverse teardrop. And do a chain of petals falling down. And I can even do a chain of petals falling up. Get that tip and drag it. You can drag a little bit if you want. Give the double loaded. You could even go back into your flower and you can maybe pull and tease that darker color up a little bit if it's still wet to blend. But a lot of girls like me when I do, I call this a flower cascade. I'll be demonstrating it better. This is just showing you techniques on how to double load. You can even triple load your brush. You do the same method. We're going to triple load. We're going to pull as much black off that tip as possible. Load up on our white. Wipe off the extra. In this case, I'm going to wipe more off than I did before because we're going to take a third of the paint off, or half. Take half off. Now we're going to go to red. Activate our dark red. And you're going to load it up just like you're doubling it, except this time you're going to do a little more pressure and pick more red up on the length of your brush than you did before. Now we're going to wipe off the tip just a little bit, and we're going to put a third coat. You also want to work lighter to darker or darker to lighter. Now I've picked up just a little bit of black. We now have a triple loaded brush. On the triple loaded brush, we are going to drag the black and then lay our petal down. And it starts creating a very fun effect for your flower. Or we can do reverse teardrops. We're going to do thin to thick to lay it down. So you can double load, you can triple load, and then just practice using your reverse teardrops and you can have some amazing effects. Here is a heart. I would do a reverse teardrop. I would drag and drop my brush down, and then I would go back to that tip, drag out and push down, and I start making a heart. Lay it down for a thicker heart. So this is a great way to doing hearts. You don't have to double dip to make these hearts, but having it double dipped creates a really nice effect. Now let's do regular teardrops. Let's do a teardrop down, pulling in, down and pulling in. Wonderful peppermint stripes. Pushing it down really big, and then I'm pulling it up, so this way I have more white showing outside of my brush. So that's how you do hearts and some effects with triple dipping. Have fun!